everybody. So we are back for day two, talking about some of the nuances for renting. I mean, having a rental property in Cabo can be very lucrative. I mean, if you do it right, you can be rented out all the time. But I think there are a few differences if you want to have a vacation property that you rent out when you're not there, or if you want to buy a rental property that you use exclusively as a business. So can you talk a little bit about the differences between those? And
Sure. The most of the property management companies down here that will rent out properties are looking for kind of that medium range rental duration. It's not 3 or 4 nights, it's not a week. They're looking for 2, 3, up to 6 months. Anything past that, they're looking at long-term rentals, and that's a different game.
But it's an expat community, so people come down here during,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
they stay for 3 months, they stay for
Absolutely.
6 months, and then that's what they want.
And so the property management companies that are doing those longer listings, they have their own client list. They're sending things out. These are people who are coming back every year. But if you are buying a condo, if you're buying a property to use, to come down and enjoy, having somebody block off 6 months out of your year, which is going to be during the high season when you're going to want to be here.
That's right. That's right.
That's one of the biggest challenges. So they're making 20. They're collecting a 20% fee typically,
And doing no work.
no, because somebody's there for 6 months.
Right.
The other option is you go short-term rentals, you go Airbnb, you go VRBO, and then you have control over your calendar. You're able to block off time, and then you can fill up all the spaces between. You can still get those longer rentals. We had someone here, it was pretty much, well, they were here for 4 weeks. So some people will be 4 nights, other people 3 or 4 weeks. So those options are still out there.
Yeah, and they're very different. And so if you want to buy a property just for investment purposes only and income, to generate income on a rental property, should you do long-term rentals or should you do short-term rentals?
It depends on how involved you want to be.
Okay,
quite honestly. Long-term rentals, the expectation is the nightly monthly fee rate is going to be less.
Right.
Even on Airbnb, if you say I charge X number of dollars a night, once you hit a week, they're expecting a discount. If they're like maybe a 10% discount. If you're going out a month, they're like, well, I want a bigger discount. I'm gonna be there for 4 weeks, and that's part of expectations on Airbnb. But just using a number, if you can, let's say you can rent out your place for $200 a night. If you're going those long-term rentals, maybe that would be 100 or 120. So you're gonna make significantly less on a nightly base, but you're guaranteed that time.
Right. And maybe there's a difference in the wear and tear. I don't know.
Sure. Anytime you've got people coming and going, there's going to be wear and tear. We've found that the people that are staying longer tend to treat it more like their home. So we've had less issues. Like the longer somebody rents the place, the less issues we have.
That's interesting.
It's the quick turnarounds where it's more of that hotel mentality.
Right. So you make a little bit less money, but you have less wear and tear on your property.
And they tend to, if they're going to be here for 4 months or 5 months, 6 months, that's their home.
Yeah.
And they're going to treat it like that.
Have you ever had a rental property in the States before that you managed?
We did not.
Okay.
No.
I was going to ask you what you think the difference between renting a property in the United States or renting in Mexico would be. Like, do you think it's more challenging?
I would assume it's more challenging, partly because of the distance. We're in Denver. Right. Our property's here.
Right. Yeah.
So in communicating with guests, if there's issues, having to get our local people, they're like, okay, there's a problem, you need to run out and fix it. Like, so that becomes an issue.
Yeah. I think that's probably the biggest issue. That's makes a big difference. So Again, Tim and Melissa are my clients and my friends, and I thought that they could bring you like a wealth of information because of their own personal experience. So please make sure to subscribe and like the channel, and we will be back with more information for you. Thanks so much for watching.